Okay, welcome to this 30-day session on mobile app development. Let's just see who are all here. We have Shiv Shankar, we have Shashank, Vikrant, we have Nishmita, we have Sujan, we have Sandeep, we have Annapurna, Pranav Nayak, V. Sitaram, I think, Abhishek. So we are expecting a few more people, but let's begin now. So thank you for your valuable time for this session. This will be a completely hands-on session. The developer is Shashank S from SME ATM second year. He has been supporting in developing these mobile apps. So he'll be doing the coding, and I will be, you know, talking and running the commentary. Okay. So this is an experiment of sorts. So kindly give us feedback after this session whether you're able to make use of this or not. Okay, I'll stop sharing now. Shashank, can you share your screen? Yeah, so welcome to the people who have just joined. We are going to start a mobile app development workshop for 30 days, 1 hour each. And in each class, we are going to do some small screens just to show different features of mobile app development. Okay, so our first app is going to be to build a small calculator. Suppose we have two numbers, 8 and 4, and I want the sum of those two numbers, 8 plus 4. So Shashank, can you go ahead and start? So Shashank is using Android Studio, right, Shashank? You can keep your mic on.
Yes.
Yeah, there are two ways of development. One is using Android Studio and other is using VS Code. Shashank is more comfortable with Android Studio. So he has opened Android Studio. None of you need to do anything right now. Today's session will be just watching only. So the project name is Sangam 1 and you can build this on different platforms. So I think we are interested in building only for Android now. So we need to uncheck all others. We can use Java or Kotlin, okay? But yeah, so Flutter is a tool by which we can create a source code both for Android as well as iOS. That's the advantage of using Flutter and Dart. Okay, Dart is like a JavaScript kind of program. Okay, mainly built to work with Flutter for mobile app development. So whenever you have to do a logic, when you have to handle arrays, when you have to handle formulas, computation, any logical statements, then we use Dart, and Flutter is used for placing the UI elements, you know, the boxes, the alignment, the color, the navigation. So Flutter has all the widgets, we call it as widgets. So if you go to flutter.io, you will find a very detailed video and description of all the Flutter widgets, but we don't need all of them. We just need a few of them for our day-to-day mobile app development. So now first time it is painfully slow. Creating the project is takes a lot of time, maybe sometimes up to 5 minutes also. And we have two ways in which we can see the mobile app coming up on the screen. One is to use an emulator. which is a a mobile kind of a screen on the laptop itself. Other is to connect a real Android device through an USB cable, in which case the app will get built on the real Android device. So all of you can keep one USB cable with you from the next class onwards, and one your own Android phone. And once our first source code is ready, we can give the source code to you and you can try to build it on your own system. So yeah, mobile app development. This is the uh, directory structure. If you see, there is a structure for Android, and all the source code is within lib folder. Okay. Now Android Studio is still creating the project. This will take some time. Meantime, I will welcome the people who have just joined: Prajna, Deepa, Radhika, Rakshit, Keshava, Katyayani, Kirtana. So if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat, and we will try, when we have time, we will try to answer that. Yeah, welcome to you, Srinivas. So we are going to do a calculator application. Have a text place where you can put a text. Where will you put a numeric value 8 and the operator plus and another numeric value 4. So 8 plus 4 should give you 12. Okay. We'll do a very simple project to add two numbers. So in the meantime, Shashank, can you just open Flutter website? We'll just go to
Yes,
Flutter and see what is there in Flutter. Flutter.dev, I think.
yes,
Yeah. So all of you can go and read the documentation in Flutter.dev. Very, very extensive documentation is there. So it's quite well done. Okay. And it provides a complete range of about 100 widgets which are built by Google's team. Okay. So if you see widget catalog, you will find all the widgets which are built for Flutter programmers. Okay. Cupertino is usually referred to for iOS widgets, and Material components are usually used by Android. Okay. Now there are some base widgets. If you see, there are some base widgets. In that, let's go to assets, images and icons. Assets, images and icons, the third one. Yeah, so each of them is a widget. Asset bundle is a widget, icon is a widget, image is a widget. Okay. Raw image is a widget. So under each category we have widgets. Widgets are UI components. Okay. Can you click on image? Yeah. So each widget has a video accompanying, okay, and it has documentation on how to use it. Okay. Now image can be, if you just see down, image can be taken from the mobile app or it can be taken from the network. So asset dot what is that? Asset dot network will take taken from the network, whereas image dot asset dot file is taken from the local file. Well, how do you do it, Shashank? Asset
sir. Asset means we will store in the app folder only.
app folder, correct.
Within
And
the app
network
folder.
means it will come from the network, right? From a URL.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Let's come back to see whether the Android Studio has created the
so I think it's
taking.
struck. Can I
Yeah,
restart it?
yeah. Please restart. Yes, we are recording the session. After the session, we will try to put it on YouTube and send you the YouTube link. So although Shashank is using Android Studio takes up a lot of space and it requires 12 GB of RAM and a huge amount of hard disk. So we do not recommend Android Studio. We recommend the use of VS Code, and you use Flutter to install through a VS Code extension. For most small requirements, that should suffice. Yeah, so now the mobile app is opened. If you see, that's the name of the project. Mobile app development is the name of the project. And in the folder structure, you will find under app, is it? Where will you find
Yes.
under app?
So actually,
It's not yet created.
so I think it's not created properly.
Yeah, yeah, recreate it. I mean, create a new one. You delete this project and do it again, because I'm not able to find the
Yes.
folders there. Delete mobile app development and recreate.
Yes.
So file, new Flutter project. Next, just call it M mobile. Sangam one, you can call it Sangam one. Yeah. No, Sangam one you call it. Sangam one. Yeah. So he has enabled only Android. We don't want to create for other form factors. Yeah, now the project seems to have been created. If you go to lib folder, you will find main.dart. That is the default Dart file which is present. Okay. So I'll repeat, today's first screen is to build a calculator, simple calculator screen. We'll let Shashank do it. Uh, Shashank, before you clean it up, can you show this working? Can you show this working on the
Yes,
emulator,
sir.
the default app? So the default app is
Yes,
a
sir.
small app which is done by Google team. If there is a floating button, and in that floating button there is a plus sign, and if you click the plus sign, there is a number which gets incremented. Okay, and that is just a reference implementation which is there. So on the right hand side, what you see, you can see phone API 33. So he has selected a phone model, and he is running the source code on that phone model. You can have a selection of different phone models. It's called an emulator, and whatever the source code is projected on that virtual phone model. Okay. So the APK will get loaded on that virtual phone model, and if you click it, now Sangam 1 is getting loaded onto that virtual phone model. On the bottom you see a console which will give any errors which may happen during loading. If you see running Gradle task assembly debug, That's the console. So during build, if there are any errors, it will show it in red. Okay. So if you see the source code, it starts from class my app extends stateless widget. And then there is in line number 12 widget build context return material app. Material app is a widget provided by Google, and below that there is a title called Flutter demo, and below that there is a theme data, and then certain remarks there, and then there is a color scheme, and then use material 3 true, then home constant my homepage title. Okay. How Java and Kotlin are different? Java was built for backend, infrastructure, and Kotlin was mainly built to support Android. And when they built Kotlin, they did not want to have another JVM, so they made sure that Kotlin follows all the Java syntaxes, so it can be compiled to a Java virtual machine. Okay, only the programming constructs are different, but when you compile it, it will run on any Java virtual machine. So it is Kotlin, you can say, is an extension, modern extension of Java. Why you need Kotlin? Without Kotlin also will work. Okay, now here you can see the app which has been developed by Google. If you click on plus, that number 1 will increment. Yeah, click 3-4 times. Yeah. Okay, now can you show me the code where that increment happens? In main dot, there is a set counter, and void increment counter is a method in line number 40, in line number 60. So can you show me where is that increment counter method?
Yes.
Yeah, in the increment counter method. No, where is the method where addition is
This
being
one.
done? Counter plus, right? So suppose I do counter is equal to counter plus 2. Will it jump by two things, or counter plus 5 you do? Counter is equal to
Yes.
counter plus 5 is equal to counter plus 5. Yeah, now if you build this app, every time you do plus, it should jump by 5. Please build the app.
Yes.
See, keep adding. Yeah, okay. Suppose you do counter minus 5 or minus 3, you do minus 3. Yeah, now you do this. Okay. So where is this line of code? Line 67 is within a method called increment counter, and before that there is a method called set state. Shashank, can you explain what is set state?
Set state means it saves the previous state of the value. Means what is the previous uh, value of the. It's usually used for dynamic value changing.
Yeah. So whenever the UI component is different and the logical component is different. So if you want any logical item to be reflected in the UI, you need to have the logic written within the set state method. Okay. Suppose you had written this line 67 outside the set state method, then this change would not have reflected here. If it has to reflect in real time, it has to be within the set state method. Okay. About 21, you have pushed the button. Where is that sentence written?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, can you change it to mobile app development workshop? Okay, it's a little too small. So can you increase the text font size?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you make it a little bolder?
Yes.
Font weight, can you add? Okay. Can you make it in red?
Yes.
Color in red? Okay. Wonderful. So where is it getting done? This is in line number 110. Can you come to the left? So it is coming under a widget called children, is it? What? No, widget called text, right? The widget is called text.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
okay, now let us say I want some gap between that mobile app development and 21. How do I put a gap there?
So using padding.
Yeah. So 1 minute. Just show them how it is. You have, when you hover around it, there is a yellow button there, and you go to that
Yes.
yellow button and you say wrap with padding.
Padding.
So just observe carefully. Now only text was there, only line 110, 111, 112 was there. Now around that, on top and bottom, you have the padding which has come. So padding says 8.0. Can you increase that 8.0 to something bigger, 15 or something?
Yes.
Okay, can you increase it to more, 40? No, it doesn't look like that is the one which is changing. What is changing?
So, so if I put 8, the distance between
Okay,
this
padding
will
is
be less.
left and top and bottom, is it? Okay. No, I want the spacing
Yes.
between mobile app development. Okay, fine. Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you increase the font of the 21 also?
Yes, sir.
So dollar underscore counter is the variable which has 21. Now that text style also can be increased, font size can be increased to 30. So after you're making the changes, is the changes reflecting automatically or are you pushing some button?
So I saving the button. In
Okay,
settings,
once you
if I
saved,
save, it
I
will.
don't think it changed, no? Did you save it now?
Yes, sir, it changes actually.
Okay, make it 50. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, now there is a code written for floating action button also. Can you show me that code? What is floating action? Can you tell me what is a floating action button?
So there is a floating button at the bottom line.
Hmm. Okay, that instead of the plus icon, can you put some other icon there?
Yes, sir.
It is still plus. Are you changing it? Change it to an icon, right? And
Yes.
see there is something called tool tip. So when you bring your hand near this one, bring your mouse near that. I think here we cannot see in the tool tip. Are you able to see the increment, Shashank? Yeah. So that
Yes.
increment is the, when you hover around it, whatever you see is the tooltip. Okay, I think this is fine. So some basic idea we have got. Now can you remove this and build that calculator thing in screen 1?
Yes.
So remove all of this and move the control to screen 1 dot dot.
Yes.
So you created a stateless widget called screen 1, and it returns a material app widget. Is giving the name of the method as calculator. Name of the class, sorry. He created a class, a stateful widget called calculator. Most of this Android Studio does an auto code generation, so we don't need to type many of these. It requires practice, however. So you will see one class called calculator and another class called calculator state. So they come together. Now usually the first UI element that we put is called a scaffold. So you can see in line 24 you have scaffold, and then now he is going to put an app bar. App bar is I think app bar you can put later, Shashank. You can
Yes.
straight away directly put the body. We'll put the app bar later.
Yes.
In the body we need to enter two numbers, right? So so he's going to put a widget called column. In that column he is going to write some elements. One of the elements he's going to write is called a text editing text field. Text field is a field where we can enter something, whereas text is a widget where we can show some text. What is the difference between text and text field? Text is just to show a text, and text field is where we have to enter some value. So whenever we enter, we have to do something with that, right? Therefore we need a controller here. So under the class calculator state is going to create two controllers. One text editing controller called TC1, which will hold the first number, and one more text editing controller called TC2, which will hold the second number. So TC1 and TC2 are two variables to hold whatever is entered in the text field. Okay. So here we are giving the name of the controller as TC1. Okay. So each element can be styled. We'll use the default style now. We can use the default style. We can
Yes.
put the next text field, which has controller as TC2. Yeah, Shashank, this much is enough. Just display it. We'll not even put the output. Just display these two.
Yes, sir. So for that, I will remove this increment method
Yes,
and
please
replace
remove
it with
that. Yeah.
tab. Yes.
Okay. So I have just got two boxes here. Can you write 10 and 20 there? Don't do anything.
Yes, sir.
Just write 10 and 20. Now it is looking too small. So can you increase the font and weight of both the numbers?
Yes, sir.
Increase the font size and font weight of both the text fields. So you might have seen last time we used font size and font weight. Border will do later. Border will do later. Just do font
Yes,
size and font weight. Put a
yes, sir.
style there. Font size 30, font weight bold, and do that. Okay, do it only for one so that we'll know whether it is coming or not.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So do it for the second one also. So look at this. Under style, it's a key value pair. Style is the key and whatever is to the right of the colon is the value. The value itself is having a widget called text style. Within the widget, you have font size and font weight. Okay, very good. Can you bring this to the center of the screen? It's right at the top. Can we put this in the center?
Yes,
So,
sir.
how do you put it in the center? We
So
use
here
another
it has
widget
main.
called main axis alignment. Not a widget. I think, what do you call it? Column is a widget. Main axis alignment is the attribute, right? That attribute you are putting it in
Yes, sir. Attribute.
center. Okay, this is center.
Yes, sir.
But can you put a padding to the left and right so that it's not padding? I think you should give margin. I think, right? Can you give a margin? Do you call it margin or do you call
So
it
if we
padding?
use, so for outside the
I don't know.
widget,
It
we
just
can
just give
call
some
padding.
spacing from the left side and right side, whatever is to be done.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, can you create a space between 10 and 20 so that we can put the plus sign?
Yes.
between the two text fields, let us have some space, or sorry, not space, we will have to add one text field. No, not text field,
Yes.
text widget, to put a plus mark there. We should have an icon which is anyway a plus mark, right? Yeah, don't do any styling, just show how it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see a very small thing plus. Now increase the size of that. Okay. Now can we put a one more box for putting the sum? Again a text field
Yes.
now. No, not a text field, text only. Text. But this time the text, right? Just here the text will come, right? Here here the sum will be displayed. Here the sum will be displayed. Will be displayed. Yeah, correct. Can you increase the font size and font weight here?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now instead of this message, can you actually add it? Can you add the two items?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you put a plus?
Yes.
Okay. So you're taking whatever is entered in TC1, its value,
Yes, sir.
and you're parsing it into to make it as an integer,
Yes, sir.
and again taking the whatever is entered in TC2 and parsing it to make a integer, and the two integers you are adding.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So it is giving an error.
Yes.
So tc1.text is what is replacing instead of value. Ah, we got the answer,
Yes.
right? Let's put two
Yes, sir.
other numbers, 50 and 90, 50 and 40, 50 and 40. Oh, it did not change. So why it did not change?
Yes, sir. So if we refresh the page, then it will
Yeah, okay.
change.
Or is it to be put under set state?
Yes, sir. If we put state on any action, it will change the value.
Yes, I think that's what we needed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please do it.
use elevated button.
The button should come before the text, right?
Yes, sir.
So he is putting a submit button, and that button should come before the text field. Yeah. So it's computing the value in line number 47. Okay. And is displaying that computed value here.
Yes. Submit.
To change the value 20, 30 you do. And submit button. Yes. Can you increase the submit button, make it blue and a little bold?
Yes, sir.
So in order to make it visible, the font should be in white, is it? Or black?
Yes, sir. So white it's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is enough. So any questions on
Yes.
this so far on this particular screen widget? So we created a text field and then the result is in a text. The place where 20 is entered is called a text field widget. 30 is also text field widget. Then there's a elevated button. Then there's a text. Okay. Okay. Shashank, we'll move on to the next screen. Can you just go
Yes.
and create the next screen? Screen 2 dot dot.
Yes.
So when somebody clicks on screen, can you create a floating button or something in screen 1 such that you can go to screen 2? From
Yes.
screen 1, let it go to screen 2. So this is a very important command, navigator.push. Okay, it's like pushing in a stack. This part is a little difficult. The navigation between one screen to another screen, it comes through practice. So he is giving an icon, which is an arrow icon, and on press, he is moving into screen 2. So in line 56, yeah, did we lose Shashank? Maybe there's some internet problem. In the meantime, any doubts? Anybody would like to ask any question? Shivshankar, please watch the chat if there's any question. Yeah, move it to screen 2.
Yes. So first I create the class names.
Yeah. Yeah, Sandeep, any questions? Screen 2, we'll do it, we'll build it later, but just
Yes.
move it to screen 2. In screen 2, I'll ask him to make a today's date and time. So he's using a
Yes.
class called timings. Yeah, it has gone to screen 2. Okay, now build screen 2. Can you display today's date and time here?
Yes, sir.
So the time now is according to IST, it is 10:19 p.m. on 1st of February, right? So he is going to
Yes.
use an inbuilt Dart package called date time. So date time dot now. In most of the programming languages, it's somewhat similar to this. Date time dot now, and that is being displayed in a text field, right? So let's
Yes.
build the.
As a text.
Oh, it's too small. Can you increase the font size? Make it font size 50, please. 50. Yeah. Okay, very good. So this is the time. Very nice. But I don't see it increasing. It should be 9 seconds, 10 seconds. Why is it not increasing, Shashank?
So because we are passing only one time as a value.
Yes, yes. So just like we did in the calculator thing, we are able to compute within a what do you call set state method. Yeah, please do that. So now
For
he's doing
this,
the computation outside the UI widget. No, just like you created A there, A is equal to date time dot now within the set state. You can do it and then push it here.
so for this we want to use stream builder.
Yeah, yeah. Please do it. Please do. So it's creating an object of the class stream and saying that every 1 second I want it to be updated. So last time we had to use the submit button to make a change, but here it should be automatic. It's like a scheduler. Every 1 second it should change, right? Therefore, we had to write line number 23. 23 has been written to write a scheduler there.
Yes.
Okay, now it is changing, right? 54, 55. Very good. But this is local time. I want UTC time also because everything in for global markets we have to make a UTC time, right? So above this, can you write UTC time also? This is local time. Can
Yes, sir.
you create one more variable for UTC time? UTC is almost like Greenwich Mean Time. It's the time which is 5.5 hours before IST. So he's using a function called dot to UTC, and that variable now is DT2. So I need two things. I need local time also, and I need UTC time also.
So for two children's, I will create use column widget
Yes, very good.
more than.
So if it is only one element, the column widget was not required. But now we need two elements, so we have to put it in one column. And within the column, you have to put children. So you're going to put children in that column. First child is UTC time, and first child is local time. Second child is UTC time. Okay. Make the first child as DT2, please. First child make it as DT2. That is
Yes.
UTC time. Second child as local time. So we need to get 5 hours, 5.5 hours before. That is 4:54. Yeah, very good. Can you put the heading UTC time for the first one and local time for the second one and make a gap between the two so that it is easy
Yes.
to read? Just call it UTC and the second one should be local time. And I want a small space between the two. Okay. Very
Yes.
nice. But UTC and local also to be font should be increased. Very, very nice. Can we have a small padding left side and right side? It should not be so much touching the border. Can you put a padding
Yes, sir.
around the column? Very
Yes.
nice. Can you increase the padding to 10 or 12? Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, that I think we can stop here for today. I would like to stop and ask questions. So we did an introduction of the basic Flutter default app, which is a increment of a number. Then we removed that and created screen 1 where we added two numbers 8 plus 4 12. Then we changed the font size, we added padding. Then we navigated from screen 1 to screen 2. In screen 2 we displayed the local time and we also displayed the UTC time. So yeah, this is how you build mobile apps. And in the coming, what is scaffold? See, scaffold, if you before you make a building, right? First, to climb the building, we put some bamboo poles around the building, right? So first you put the scaffold within the, it's like a boundary. Within the scaffold, all the entire UI elements are kept. You know, scaffold is like a boundary of for the entire building. Okay, that is the meaning of scaffold here. Okay, any questions here?